care provider, Southern Ohio Medical Center can help. Many of our physicians have extended and weekend hours. Visit somc.org or call us at 740-356-CARE to learn more.
Kool Hits 105.7 WLGC FM. Bring up Ashland.
Kool Hits 105.7 and the Kool Hits Sports Network now presents Let's Talk Sports. We'll take a look at scores and sports stories, talk with coaches, players, and others. It's Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State, Stoltz Pharmacy in Greenock, River Cities Builders, and J.D. Flooring of Greenock. Now, here's your host for Let's Talk Sports, James Collier.
And welcome into Let's Talk Sports here on the Kool Hits Sports Network. Beautiful sunny Saturday morning here in Ashland. Fall is in the air, but it has certainly been much appreciative welcome of this lowering of temperatures that we've got. It is going to warm up a little bit this weekend, but then next week we're going to be pushing lucky to get into the 60s. Consistently inconsistent, kind of like my producer most of the time. So a lot of games around the area last night. Let's run through those. It was Ashland over Boyd County 49-21. Bath County gets a win at the end over West Carter 26-20. Head coach Brandon Brewer picks up his first district win and gets his head shaved. So they shaved his head in the locker room. Coach Mike Salmons is in the house this morning. We don't have to worry about his head being shaved. He's got that high and tight look like I've got going on. Bishop Brossart, they cracked the top 10 in Class Single A last week. They go to Covington Holy Cross and blank them 35-0 last night. Boyle County continues to roll in Class 4A. They may be arguably the best team in the entire state regardless of classifications. They hammer Russell County 55-6. Other games along the way, it was East Carter in Flemingsburg with a district win over the Panthers 34-24. Other games from around the area last night. I clicked on the wrong part here, my mistake. Hazard, they got one back last night in a district win over Paintsville, hammering the Tigers 41-0. Johnson Central over Rowan County 48-6. Kentucky Country Day 33. Holy Cross out of Louisville 19. Lawrence County over Magoffin County 48-21. Mason County blanks Harrison County 35-0. It was Morgan County picking up the win over Jenkins in forfeit because Jenkins stopped their program. So Morgan County gets another bye week. They've had a rough season this year with scheduling, with all kinds of crazy stuff going on, but Jenkins closing the program up last week. Newport Central Catholic over Newport 35-7. Paris against Nicholas County last night was a flag fest. There were 40 flags thrown in that game. The PA announcer from Paris was ejected, and Paris wins it 45-18, and that's the next trip for the Rams. They'll go down on the orange turf next Friday night in district matchup number 2. Speaking of the Rams, they win over Fairview last night, 56-6. Program win number 600 for the team. Mike Salmons, his 100th win as the head coach there in his 11 seasons. We've got him in studio. We'll talk with him in just a few moments. Russell blanks Lewis County 45-0. It was one other one down here. Let's see. Nope, that was it for the local area. And that rounds out the things in the class, or all the classes throughout. One other one, Sayre, playing a cupcake schedule, 56-7. They get another win. They'll be ranked probably in the top 10 of the state with their RPI because we know how that plays out. We'll see how things play once we get into the playing of the games when it gets to November. We'll see how that plays out. We'll talk about the Major League Baseball postseason push as we get the National League Championship Series has been set. The Dodgers beat the Padres last night. One more game in the divisional round today. They had to move the game up this afternoon, so the Tigers and the Guardians, not the Indians. I still want to call them the Indians. But they'll play at 1 o'clock today instead of 7 o'clock tonight because of some impeding weather up in Cleveland. But that one should be a dandy. Winner moves on. They'll play the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. A lot of great games in top 25 college football. We'll break all of those down. Plus the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week, customer service. Can I help you? All right, let's take a break. We come back. We'll talk with Mike Salmons. His Rams get a win last night over in Fairview. They're 1-0 in district play. We'll talk about it when we return after this here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon Gasoline. Great monthly specials on snacks and beverages and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return. Refresh. Refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup. 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call that can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup.
Cool Kids, the greatest songs of all time. 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Joining me in studio now, Raceland head coach Mike Salmons. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning, James. Good to be here this morning.
Heck of a win last night for your team. Again, the second season has arrived. You get into district play, and again, it's a nameless opponent at this point. It's whoever lines up on the other side of the football. Last night it was Fairview. You're 1-0 in district play.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of break our schedule down. We got the 2 preseason games and then the first 2 weeks, that low 4-game month stretch, and then we had a bye week, and then we kind of got those 4 in the middle to get ready for these last 4, particularly these 3 district games. And, I've talked about it before. Everybody, talks about RPI and all of its importance, and it is important at some point. But if you're not in the Final 8, it doesn't matter. So these district games are really what dictates you to get to the Final 8, and it's the most important games on our schedule. And obviously we're very, very happy to take care of the first one, and onward we go.
The way the game started off, Fairview rolls the dice to go with an onside kick, recover, take it down to the 6. You guys force a turnover and hang 40 unanswered after that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not the ideal start you want, but it's a little different atmosphere when you go there. And, again, a credit to Coach Roy and those guys. Those guys practice all week. Those kids get a lot of pride in their community, and they come out with a trick play, on first down, had a shot to hit that. And, once we kind of settled in there, we felt like there's some things we could do to take advantage of. We really wanted to work on some things in our passing game last night and really wanted to try to rush the passer, try to get him off his point. And, after we got a couple scores on the board, they went to their wishbone attack just to try to grind the clock out. And, again, that was a good job by Coach Roy trying to get out of there with a respectable score and try to keep his guys healthy, because there's some games left on his schedule that I'm sure he feels like they can win. And so, obviously our guys were very businesslike. We had a lot of guys on the field last night and, trying to move forward.
You talk about the passing attack of getting Jake Waller kind of settled in after you guys go with the change to putting him at the full-time quarterback a couple of weeks ago. But last night, very businesslike approach, seeming like his timing is there with his receivers, and especially moving Parker Ison back to the outside. Now you've got 2 outside threats, Arnett working there inside, and, of course, you've got Aiden Cooper, who's been a guy that's gone to the slot, who's become a nice option from you that started in the running back stable and has really kind of almost flourished into a wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was a perfect storm there all at one time. Got Jake at quarterback and Parker back on the outside, and Rousey returned at the same time. All at the same time, while all of our guys that were in those spots for the first month of the season got valuable reps and so valuable experience. So we're really able to build a lot of depth, a lot of moving pieces there. I don't know that we're a one-trick pony per se. Maybe in the past that we've kind of had that guy. I feel like there really is power in numbers, and that's what this team's all about. And we've been able to play better offensively the last few weeks. Our defense has been really, really good all year long. And so if we continue to get better, we've done a really, really good job of valuing the football. We'll continue to win the turnover battle every week. If we continue to do that, we feel really good about going through these next 2 district games.
That's something we've talked at length numerous times from the preseason up until this week. You're hanging your hat on that defense, and you can tell that they take it personal each time they take the snap. It's not, let's not give up any points. It's, let's not give up any yards.
Yeah, just a bunch of guys that, like you turn on the film from last night, and we just got a bunch of white jerseys in the screen, guys just flying to the football. And really what that tells you is, they're playing for each other. They're very, very unselfish and just trying to rally the ball. And that's been a big point for us. And, our guys on the defensive side, our coaches have really led that charge, and our guys have bought into it. I told you in the preseason, we felt like our best position group was our defensive line. Probably still feel that way, although some other changes, some other position groups are certainly catching up. But our defensive line, led by Lyndon in there, was just some, tremendous experience and tremendous high school football player, and a bunch of guys in the box that play really hard. And, if you can generally take away the run in high school football, you're going to give yourself a chance. And that's what we've been able to do all year long. And obviously we're going to have to do that the next 2 months if we want a chance to play on the last day of the season.
You talk about Lyndon Salmons being a vocal leader up front, which is so kind of an oxymoron because a kid hardly says a word inside the building, but just a high-character kid, a very intelligent kid, but he leads by example with the way he sets the tone there at the defensive line.
Yeah, he's most definitely a watch me, follow me guy, not let me tell you guy. We joke all the time. He's had a couple small injuries he's worked through, and the therapy guys, they call him mute. He doesn't really tell him if he's getting better or any worse. He just keeps showing up and he keeps producing on Fridays. But yeah, just a tremendous kid. He's over a 4.0 student in the building. He doesn't say 2 words. Generational kid. He had a brother play for us. His dad played for us. It's really important to him, and it shows. And not a lot of seniors. I think we got 10 seniors. Of course, we got 1 out for the year, so 9 seniors been suiting up for us every Friday night. And those guys have really, really helped us through some of our early season storms and adversity to get to where we're at. And we have a chance to, next 2 weeks play for district championship.
Logan Lockwood, a guy there in the linebacker unit, he saw some time last year with the injury of Braden Webb, and he brought you a little bit of consistency to that linebacker unit that all 4 starters were lost after graduation last year. But some of those other guys have really jumped in there. Kenny Littoral, Landon Bloss, Shannon Marucci have been all big in their starting roles now at linebacker.
Yeah, they really have. Lockwood did have some experience there. Kenny and Landon had 0. Shannon had some experience at different positions for us. Shannon's a really, really good football player. As a sophomore, he just kind of filled in for us at different spots and provided some depth. So those guys have really bought in running the ball, and they're playing physical. And Lockwood is a little bit more vocal than Lyndon. I will say that.
Just a little bit.
I don't know always in the right manner, but those guys, again, they really rally the ball. Landon Bloss plays in there, an inside linebacker. He's a lot like Lyndon. He don't say 2 words. Kenny would kind of be along that way, and Shannon would be more along the lines of Lockwood. Now, so I think there's some complementary there. Guys really complementary each other. We got some guys that I think our physical play has really helped us. Sometimes in space it might not be our strength, and at times. Those are things that we've had to work on to get better at, and we have gotten better at. But, again, those guys are playing really physical at the line of scrimmage, really taking away the run. And, again, it's not NFL. It's not, not even college football and high school football. If you can do that consistently, you're going to give yourself a chance to win.
A guy on the back line that's been really big for you guys, setting the tone each and every week, has been Austin McKee, a kid that's come up through the program, kind of trying to find his way where he was going to land. This year he's done a really good job on the outside, usually having to pick whoever the best receiver on that team is. And then on the opposite side of it, Max Burton's been a really good guy that's been on the corner for you, that's done a lot of stuff as well.
Yeah, we probably feel like as a whole, our defensive back group is one of the rooms or one of the position groups that's kind of grown since the beginning of this thing. Austin's one of those 10 seniors I spoke about earlier, and he's, a 4th-generational Ram. He talks proudly about it. His grandpa played for us, his dad played for us, he had an uncle play for us, and it's really, really, really important to him, and it shows. there's no secret he's going to line up on the other team's best receiver, typically, or away from strength on formation, where we got some, one-on-one top coverage deals, and he's been really good for us. And I think, in the past, the programs go through evolution, and players go through evolution too. And like last year, maybe he was the guy that just had to fit in with some other guys we had, but then graduation happens, and you look around and wait a minute, now I'm that guy. That's kind of the growth mindset he's been through. And he's been really good for us, and he's kind of led those guys. He brings positive energy every day to the practice field, and I think that's become contagious in that defensive backside.
How much have you seen the growth from Jake at quarterback over the last couple of weeks of just allowing him to settle in, knowing he's the guy, he's the one going to sling it around, and especially with his timing with the receivers, look like it's starting to come? Yeah,
It's taking a lot of reps, and we're still got room to grow. I think the biggest thing I would say about Jake is, he's extremely, extremely intelligent, and that's really helped him grow with our offense and what we're trying to do. And the second thing is his demeanor, his calmness about him, I think, comes from his confidence, has really allowed him, I think, to make a big jump over the last month. He's grown physically. He's got in the weight room. He knew that was something he had to work on and needs to continue to work on, and he is continuing to work on. Some of his toughness factors, I think, has kind of won the team over, if you will. And when you get that, when you get guys that want to protect your quarterback, and the quarterback wins the locker room over, that becomes infectious among the 56 kids we got now. And so, it's really proud of his growth and proud of those guys that, try to work, and as we try to make connections with different types of receivers. Again, I don't know if we have one guy, but we feel like we got 5 or 6 guys that can go make plays in the passing game for us. And I think last night we had multiple guys catch multiple balls, and so that was good for us to see. That was a process for us to get to that point, and we're going to have to continue to have that as we go through the next 2 months.
Well, everything that you have accomplished through this season has been remarkable. But let's talk about another accomplishment last night. Program win number 600 for the Raceland Rams. You were an assistant when they hit 500 in 2013. Now you put another milestone into the program for number 600. For you, being around 2 big numbers like that, how big is that, and what does it say about what this program tradition really is all about?
Yeah, all of us very humbled and grateful to be a part of that. The 500th win and the 600th win of our program. Just, I think there's just a lot of tradition there in that little town we call home. And a lot of guys that have put a lot of time into it. We're closing in on 100 years of high school football, and so there's been a lot of consistency and a lot of guys over a lot of years in this area where at one time, the job and the economy market may have been booming. It's not there no more. But for whatever reason, our little town is just held on our football team. And so, sometimes you got to pinch yourself or wait, try to make sure you smell it and enjoy it. But, our guys, our community guys have gone before us, maybe guys that are deceased, guys that have continued to lead our charge. It's just not within a football program. It takes administrative support. It takes community support. It takes business support. It takes a whole conglomerate, a village, if you will, to keep things moving forward, particularly in this day and time when self-gratification is at all-time high. And so I think that's probably the thing we're most proud of. We got a bunch of guys in the program that's been around the program not for a decade, for multiple decades. I think there was 6 or 8 guys on the sideline last night that we have been together for 2 decades. You got some guys that go back 4 and 5 decades. And then, you got guys like Coach Lewis, he's got 6 or 7 decades in the game of football, And so I think it's just a lot of consistency there, and I think that's what led us to this point. Obviously, we're glad to get number 600, and our program's still chasing that last one of the season. We certainly feel like we've made progress towards that, and we're just trying to get better every step of the way.
You talk about the consistency within the staff. I was looking at the picture at school the other day from the 2013 season, and a lot of those same faces that's on the sideline are in that picture, just a lot younger-looking guys. Coach Fannin still has that old ugly hat on. Coach Pack, a youthful pup in that picture. I think Coach Francis still has his same hat on and stuff. But, again, it shows how much it means to those guys to be on that staff of that position group to make this program become what it's become.
Yeah, we got several guys there. I'm sure in that picture, some smaller guys, too, from 10-plus years ago. But a bunch of guys that are just selfless, really bought into the program. And I think you see that. Everyone has kind of found their own niche in the program. In other words, put their stamp on the things that's theirs. It's really a collective effort. And I really go back to when we had the coaching change in 14. All of us kind of went in at the time and said, I don't know how this is going to go out. Mr. Dixon was the principal at the time and said, but here's what we do know. Whatever happens, we're all going back and coach in 2014. Every one of us, no matter how it shook out. And I think that's what you see. All of the guys have stuck through that. And again, like you say, there's 6 or 8 guys that've been here. Not only 13 was our first regional championship, but going back, even before that, in the early 2000s. So I think that goes 2 things. I think it shows, first of all, the type of men that are leading our young kids. Number one, obviously, I think we got guys of high character and guys that are trying to teach our young kids the characteristics that are needed for success in young adulthood. Number one, and then number 2, I think it shows the consistency and the value of our football program from administration. These guys have, for the most part, are certified teachers and have been for some time, and our school district has made a commitment to them, and they have made a commitment to the school district, and I feel like both sides have been rewarded.
Another guy that's in that mix, and I didn't want to leave him out because I think he deserves kind of a side talk as well, but of everything that he's brought to Raceland from the tradition is Randy Vanderhoof. His heydays back in the 80s, and he succeeded Bill Tom Ross. I mean, it just the tradition of the program started well before him, and he was a guy that was kind of the torch carrier that carried it on, and he's still there today. Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about Coach Vanderhoof. There's not a more loyal orange blood guy than Coach Vanderhoof. Very, very selfless. He graduated for Raceland in 1980, and he came back, I think, and first season was, I think, 80, maybe the season of 84, 85. And for the most part, with a couple small breaks, has been in every season since that time with Coach Ross. And he's a tremendous asset to our staff, just his demeanor and his experience and the way he carries himself. The things he does for our young men is truly special. And, him and Coach Lewis are retired, but from the day job, but they are some of the more energetic, most well-prepared coaches that we have. I think it's just that generation. Coach Vanderhoof is the same way. Really, really been a real sounding board for me as a head coach, and sometimes on Friday I still lean on him on this situation or that situation. And we are better from having Coach Vanderhoof, and hopefully we can keep him for a long, long time. We always joke in there, he's got some grandkids coming along, and it's really hard for him. If he coaches one, he's got to coach them all, and so I don't know how all that's
trying to keep him locked in.
How all that's going to play out. Yeah, but again, just a bunch of loyalty. I think in today's society, that's probably one word that's lost. You can turn on the news or internet. Loyalty is not spoken about, or certainly not displayed by a lot of people. But I think when you look at our staff, I think that's what you see, and obviously Coach Vanderhoof epitomizes that.
For you, a milestone win last night as well, number 100, and it was unique. I picked this up last season, didn't bother to tell anybody about it, but at the end of the year, I figured it out that 600 and 100 were going to hit hand in hand. And for you, number 100, as the head coach there at Raceland, how special is a moment is that for you?
Well, I think it's just gratifying for our staff. Again, talking about those guys that have been together for so long. Obviously, you can't people joke all the time. Don't forget, it's about Jimmy's and Joe's, man. We've been blessed with really good players. Got really good players in the program now. Had really good players over the past, 10-plus years. We got really good players coming behind them. And so you put those 2 things together with community support, I think you get results, and that's kind of what we've done. We've certainly been blue-collar all the way through, and a bunch of guys that have really pulled for each other. It hasn't always been perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but it's a bunch of guys with the same common goal. And I think if you can keep that eyes on the goal, you can get there. And that's kind of what we've done. Obviously, we feel like we've made some tremendous strides over the past decade plus, and we got a little bit more to go. You always said,
Raceland's a 4-way stop, a stop sign, and a football team, not necessarily always in that order, but it always kind of reflects on what that program truly is and how deeply ingrained Raceland football is in that community.
Yeah, so I think what's special about that, of course, we got the railroad runs through town. I always talk about that, and a 4-way stop sign on our football team. And, and I just think in the day of the age of instant gratification, and you go up and down Highway 23 here in Eastern Kentucky, you see consolidation, and it's rampant. It's everywhere. And for some reason in our little community, we've been able to stay tied together to prevent that. There's 3 schools in our county. That's virtually unheard of. You go some counties that are much bigger than ours county, population-wise or definitely landmass-wise, and they have one school. And so I think that shows you there the heartbeat of the community. And so that's been a big part, I feel like, as we go into, I think this is our 99th year of high school football in Raceland, wrapping up, going on to number 100. I think that shows the importance of it. And you know, our people grow up around it. You know, I've talked in the past, you've heard me talk about, you know, Raceland is not a destination place. You don't pick out a map and say, hey, let's move there. You know, it doesn't work that way. You know, you may want to move somewhere where it's warm or where it's heavy populated or they have some things that you like. You don't want to move where there's no jobs or no economic growth. And so to me, that's what makes the connection even stronger, that you see people that are, whatever they do to survive and scrape by, but it's that school, that heartbeat is the community. And so that's really special. You know, I think it's been that way since 1926 and the people that came before us. And obviously we have a responsibility to carry on the tradition, and every single day we're humbled to do so.
Big district matchup this Friday night down in Paris. Head down on the new orange turf, the Jumbotron, the electric atmosphere. But most importantly, this is a big one. This is the de facto district championship game. Yeah,
all that. All those things are nice and special and all that. But at 7:30, they'll tee that thing up between the white lines, and that's what will decide the football game. You know, all the social media, all the hype, all the distractions or rat poison, I guess, in today's world we call them, they essentially mean nothing. We got to make sure that we put our best foot forward and we prepare that way this week. And we're really excited for the opportunity. You know, we've taken road trips all season long. We've been in some hostile environments. We're never going to go into a game with stakes on the line that we haven't put ourselves in a worse position at some point in the season. And so we feel confident in who we are and what we're doing. Obviously, Paris got a really good football team. They got tremendous athletes, and a credit to them. Small school USA, small school community. They've invested in their football program. They got a lot of tradition there, too, and we obviously respect that. And we're excited for the opportunity on Friday night.
I'll be with the Rams Friday night down at Collier Blanton Stadium. 7:30 kickoff. We'll begin it at 7:10 with countdown to kickoff right here on the Kool Sports Network. Coach, congratulations on the milestone win. Nice win last night as well to move to 1-0 in district play. We'll talk to you this week.
Thanks, James. Appreciate it.
Let's take a break. We come back. Let's go into Major League Baseball. The postseason is heating up even more as we're one game away from our championship series getting started next week. We'll continue our coverage after this here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV-compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon Gasoline. Great monthly specials on snacks and beverages and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return. Refresh. Refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup. Kool Hits weather is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstores of the Tri-State. For all your furniture and appliance needs, see Big Sandy today.
Kool Hits weather.
Partly cloudy today and warm with a high around 80. Partly cloudy tonight, low near 60. On Sunday, mostly sunny, slight chance of a rain shower. Look for a high of 83. Partly cloudy on Sunday night, low around 50.
Cool Hits 105.7.
Back here in Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Big thanks to Mike Salmons from Raceland Football talking some district matchups last night. A big program milestone, 600 program wins, number 100 in his coaching career as the skipper there in Ramland. So now they turn their attention directly forward to the Paris Greyhounds, and this is going to be an electric atmosphere. I'm most excited about going down and seeing the new turf, orange turf. They had to get the permission for Boise State to order orange turf because Boise State owns the copyright on colored turf. So, but it went in this year. They get the new Jumbotron. My son works down there. So, you think that I would get a little bit of, carte blanche down there. No, I'll still be standing on top of the press box, hopefully not freezing to death this year. The last time we went down there, it was in the postseason, and it was so freaking cold. I mean, the wind was blowing like 100 miles an hour. It was 30 degrees. I remember Luke Leemaster was kicking footballs, and, I mean, he would kick it, and it sounded like he was kicking a brick. It was so cold that night. And I remember Seth Pack, he was at home. He was starting through his cancer treatment at the time, and he was listening, and he said, I could tell how cold it was because I could hear you sniffling every single play from your nose running from the – and my wife, she brought up hot chocolate at halftime. I didn't drink a drop of it. I just held on to the cups because my fingers were so cold. My fingers were drawing up. Almost dropped my iPad off the roof of the press box 3 times. But, yeah, they did not have room for us, as we were told, in the press box. So we are going to plan to be outdoors regardless of what happens when we get down there this Friday night. But, again, it'll be the de facto district championship, a win for the Rams. We'll put them with one game to play. They'll bring Nicholas County in the following week for senior night. Then they go to Lexington for LCA to close out the regular season. And then the chips will fall as they may. Again, you win the district championship, you're guaranteed 2 home games in the postseason. And then after that, you get to the Final 8, and it all goes to RPI. And we know how the RPI is. It's about as consistent as the officiating. So I'm not going to get started on the RPI. I'll turn this into the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week here in the middle of the show. It's a travesty. You look at the RPI right now, and it's laughable to see where it is because of teams playing and manipulating the numbers because of their playing up and playing these crappy 3 and 4A schools that couldn't compete in 1A. But yet you get credit for beating a bigger school. So teams like Sayre that are playing this cupcake schedule and just putting up video game-like numbers. Same thing happened last year. Then Raceland goes down there last year, and what do? They took them to the woodshed on their home field. Now, don't get me wrong. Sayre's got some phenomenal athletes, okay? Their quarterback, the son of Chad Pennington, he's going to Dayton. He's going to go play at D1. They've got a receiver that's going to go play D1. But across the board, when they stand in the biggest game of the season, they've never been pushed like they're going to be pushed in that game. And that's the biggest thing. So we'll see how things play out. Again, I don't get too locked in on the RPI because I just think it's garbage, to lack of a better term. It doesn't work. It's a great foundation. It could be tuned and could work really, really well. But until they tune it up, it's absolute trash that you can look at some of the numbers with that put some of these teams where they put them, and it's solely based on the way that they're manipulating their ranking to get that higher RPI so they stay at home in the postseason. But like Coach Salmons always says, you get down to the Final 8, who cares? You're one of the top 8 teams left in the state. Roll them out there. Let's go play football. That's what it's all about. So we'll see how it goes. But weather getting a little colder, chips or the stakes of poker is getting a little higher as we're starting postseason not too long from now. About 3-4 weeks from now, we'll be playing postseason football. So we've already entered into our first postseason run with soccer. Soccer districts up. They're drawing for region today. It'll start region next week. We finish out this week of regular season volleyball. The following week starts districts. End of the month, we go into region. And then, not too long from there, you'll be in postseason for football, and then you roll into the month of December, and let's put it in the air, and it's basketball season. So times are flying, to say the least. All right, Major League Baseball last night. It was the Dodgers over the Padres 2-0. in Game 5. So the Dodgers go to the National League Championship Series to play the New York Mets in Game number 1 on Monday. Here's the crazy thing about this game. These two teams played in the Japan Series to open the season this year. They played over Japan, 2 games. And Yamamoto, who was the guy who pitched in Game 1 in that series, is the guy that pitched last night to get the win for the Dodgers, 2-0. He battles against Yu Darvish, who had been lights out. Yu Darvish, a 1.98 ERA in the postseason. He had a sub-2 ERA in his last 4 starts against the Dodgers. And last night, Yamamoto holds the Padres to 2 hits. Pretty phenomenal. So the Dodgers and their big bankroll, they buy themselves into the postseason a little deeper, much like the Yankees do. So now the game that we put our attention to is the game now that's playing at 1 o'clock today, instead of the game that will play at 8 o'clock tonight. Because of weather impeding in the area in Cleveland, the Guardians-Tigers got shifted up to 1 o'clock today. So here's who we get. For the Cleveland Indians, we get Matthew Boyd. For the Detroit Tigers, who is going to be your American League Cy Young Award winner, Tariq Skubal. Phenomenal pitcher. He was lights out. 8 strikeouts in Game 2. I think he went 7 innings in that win. Got a no decision. The Tigers won that one 3-0 and a home run in the 9th. But Skubal has got a win in Cleveland. So it's not like that he got the win at home. This win was in Cleveland. So you got to like what – and it's, again, you look at this guy's outings. I mean, he is just – it's not that he's been kind of hit or miss. The guy didn't miss a beat all season long. Here's what he had. He was 18-4 this year, a 2.39 ERA. 31 games, he had 30 – out of 31 games, he took 22 decisions. 192 innings of pitch, 228 strikeouts. His whip was a sub-1. That's walk plus innings pitched, okay? You want to find out what a pitcher's truly doing. Whip probably gets you a little bit more information about that than the ERA does. But he has been lights out at the age of 27. So who do I like in this one? I would put the bank on Skubal. Why not? I mean, tell me about what this guy has done this year that makes you believe this is not going to be the Detroit Tigers coming away with it. Now, the other side of this is how quickly do the Guardians start into the bullpen if Boyd gets into trouble? That's the big question. You know, you can't allow this one to get away. You've got to take care of things quickly. You look at Boyd, he's in this postseason. He started a game. He went 4 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, no runs given up. I think he pitched in Game 1. So, okay, that's not bad. His postseason, he does not have he's never had a decision yet. But on the season, 2-2, 8 starts, a 2.72 ERA over 39 2/3 innings, 46 strikeouts. So we'll see how we get it. But a pair of southpaws will put this one up today. Winner gets the Yankees in Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. God, please don't let the Yankees. Here's the thing. If the Yankees and Dodgers end up in the World Series, I'm not watching. I refuse. I am not watching Moneyball 2.0, okay? Let's buy a World Series championship because that's what that truly is. But how fitting would it be? And I've got to look this up real quick because I was going to do this, and the opportunity to see a team in or 2 teams in the World Series still lies there with the Detroit Tigers and the New York Mets. And the reason I bring this up is because this was back in the early part of the season, and the Mets were just absolutely atrocious. And there were games that they were playing, there was nobody in the stadium. I mean, it was like crickets of all the players that or the teams. There was nobody there. It was just empty. So the other side, you look at the Detroit Tigers. This is a team that was ready to sell off. They were selling off the farm. Jake Flaherty got moved. Scuba was out there. If there was a team that was dumb enough to empty the farm system, and there was about 3 teams that was in the conversation, the Baltimore Orioles, the Philadelphia Phillies, or the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers were the other one, and then the San Diego Padres. Those were the 3 farm systems that had the most to give to go after Scuba, and nobody pulled the trigger. And what's happened has Detroit has become one of the best teams in baseball in the latter half of the season. They're the hottest team in baseball right now by far. So how fitting would it be to see? You look at the Mets. They lost their first 4, picked up a win over the Cubs on May 2nd, lose 3 more, and then lost 5 of their next 6. They were garbage. And here they are in the National League Championship Series. Now, again, somebody was like, we want a Subway Series. No, we don't. That includes the Yankees. Okay? We don't want any part of the Yankees in the World Series. Never, ever does the Yankees need to be in the World Series. And, again, the Mets, I don't have a hatred for the Mets. I have a hatred for New York. Okay? I just don't like New York anything. Now, I will say this. I love the city of New York. Love visiting there. And I don't know why. I hate people. Okay? Hate being around large groups of people. But I get New York. It gets me. We vibe. Okay? I love their fire department. FDNY is the best fire department in the nation. I've gone around a lot of different fire departments, done a lot of studying a lot of fire departments in my time in the service. I love FDNY. But New York teams, freaking hate them. The Knicks, the Jets, the Giants, the Yankees, the Mets, hate them all. The New York Islanders? Hockey? I don't even like hockey. I hate the Islanders. Hate them all. It's just New York across the board. You can't be there. So, either go Detroit, go Cleveland, and then on the backside of that, I got to root for the Dodgers. But then you're kind of torn. It's like, well, which one's worse? Is it Mets or Dodgers? So it's really tough. So you're torn at that part. So I'm just all in on the American League against the Yankees. That's where I am. But that's where we're going from this. All right, let's take a break. We come back. A lot of great games today in top 25 action. Some rivalry games. One of the big ones, the Red River rivalry down in Texas and Oklahoma. We'll talk about that when we return here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV-compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return, refresh, refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup.
The greatest songs are always on Kool Kids 105.7.
Back here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Let's go to college football top 25 action. One game already final last night, an upset. Arizona State knocks off number 16 Utah. The Utes fall 27-19. So a big win for Kenny Dillingham. Left Oregon to go back to his alma mater of Arizona State and gets a big win over a ranked team. So the Sun Devils get the big win, and they knock off another top-ranked team in the top 25. After the week we saw last week, I don't know that it could get any more crazy than what it did last week. Alabama losing. Tennessee lost in the top 25. It was just team after team after team that just kept falling in that top ranking to unranked teams, which was just absurd at best. But here's what we've got lined up for today. These are the noon kickoffs, 3 of these. South Carolina's in Tuscaloosa against number 7 Alabama. Well, hello. Somebody's calling our show. Number 10 Clemson against Wake Forest. And 21st ranked Missouri is up in Amherst, Massachusetts against UMass. All of those plus 20 or more favored lines. Alabama 21.5, Clemson 21, Missouri 27.5. Missouri took an ugly loss last week. I think they really got exposed for who they were. And they were ranked up in the top 10, really didn't play anybody, but the Boston College game, I believe, was the game that kind of got me thinking, okay, maybe this isn't the team that everybody thinks they are. They played Murray State and Buffalo, in which they outscored them 89-0. Then a 27-21 win over then number 24th ranked Boston College, a 3-point win over Vanderbilt, and then they got taken to the woodshed last week by Texas A&M 41-10. So this is a get-right game for them. Now, the Red River rivalry, easy for me to say, number 1 Texas, number 18 Oklahoma. Quinn Ewers is available. The question is, does he start over Arch Manning? And this is a good option to have if you're a Texas fan. You got 2 studs at quarterback. Which one do you roll with? Oklahoma, 18th in the nation. They're 1-1 in SEC play. Texas coming off their bye week. This is a 3:30 kickoff. We'll be following this one for sure. Along the way, you can catch the action today on ABC. Number 4, Penn State goes west out to L.A. in the Coliseum against the unranked USC Trojans in Big Ten action. Of course, Big Ten football, nothing says Big Ten like go to the West Coast. Nothing says ACC action more than going to the West Coast, okay? That conference realignment is crazy. Speaking of that, Cal's coming to the East Coast. They're going to play number 22 Pitt today. Another matchup, Stanford at number 11th ranked Notre Dame. Listen, I said last week, all those upsets we saw in the top 25, it was just so they could get Notre Dame sucked back into the postseason. Notre Dame, they get so much clout for beating nobody. They'll beat Stanford tonight and probably move up 3 spots in the rankings because Stanford was a quality program. Stop it. Notre Dame's trash. Everybody was like, well, they beat Louisville. Louisville got beat by SMU last week. Okay? Louisville is not a team that you hang out. Listen, the backside of it is you lost, Notre Dame, you lost to NIU, who lost to Buffalo, who the next week after got beat 52-5. You have nothing on any of the teams that you've beaten so far. None whatsoever. And this Notre Dame team, the only signature win they've got right now is the win over Texas A&M. The Northern Illinois loss was at home. And here's what they close out with. Georgia Tech, win. Navy, win. Florida State, for God's sakes, that will be a destruction. Army, and USC. Tell me where there's any sex appeal whatsoever in that for Notre Dame. And you can bet the house on it, they'll be in the top 12. One way or the other. I don't get it. It's like, it's mind-blowing of how much apologists are out there for Notre Dame every single year. They'll be in the first college football playoffs that expands at 12. Mark my word. All right, Purdue goes to 23rd ranked Illinois. At 4 o'clock today, Arizona's at number 14 ranked BYU. 4:15, Mississippi State goes to number 5, Georgia. Florida is in Knoxville against 8th-ranked Tennessee. That one's going to be a good one tonight at 7. Tennessee will be all kinds of fired up last week after losing to Arkansas. The biggest game of the weekend, 2nd-ranked Ohio State goes west in a Big Ten matchup against 3rd-ranked Oregon in Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. My God, this one's going to be epic. It's on Peacock and NBC. Ohio State's is favored by 3 points. This is going to be a one-possession ball game. This is going to be a high-scoring ball game. The over on this one is 54.5. Bet it. Over. I would almost go over 60.5 in this one. First team to 35 wins this football game. Neither team is going to play a lick of defense. I could see a 42-35, 45-41 type of football game. I mean, it is going to be just video game-like numbers. It's basically going to be a 7-on-7. 54.5, I think, is low for the over and under. But this one should be an epic showdown out in Eugene. 9th-ranked Ole Miss goes to Death Valley, and 13th-ranked LSU today at 7:30. Today at 8, Iowa State ranked 11th. They're up in Morgan Hole against the Mountaineers. 10:15 tonight, 18th-ranked Kansas State's in Colorado. Dion and the show out there. And then at 11, number 17-ranked Boise State goes to Hawaii. What a heck of a trip there. We got to go play a football game in Hawaii. But if you don't have anything to do tonight and you've never watched Ashton Gentry from Boise State, you need to watch this kid. He could probably beat Barry Sanders' rushing record. But the problem of it is he's played the last 2 games. He's only played the first half. He's got 95 carries for over 1,000 yards and 16 tutties. This kid is phenomenal. Should probably win the Heisman or be in the conversation with the Heisman. And this kid will not get it simply because, 1, he plays in Boise State, and 2, he's only playing half of football games. So his numbers are not like just accelerate. He could beat Barry Sanders' record if he played the entire thing. But the kid is pretty stinking awesome either way. All right, let's take a break. We come back. It's the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Customer service, can I help you, please? Oh, this was a good one. We'll talk about it when we return after this here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care. 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon Gasoline. Great monthly specials on snacks and beverages and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump & Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump & Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump & Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump & Shops. Return. Refresh. Refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup. 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup. Cool Hits weather is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstores of the Tri-State. For all your furniture and appliance needs, see Big Sandy today.
Cool Hits weather.
Partly cloudy today and warm with a high around 80. Partly cloudy tonight, low near 60. On Sunday, mostly sunny, slight chance of a rain shower. Look for a high of 83. Partly cloudy on Sunday night, low around 50.
Cool Hits 105.7.
that's some good music. That right there gets me amped up for this segment right here. Yeah, bang your head against the wall. That's what I felt like doing earlier this week. Time for the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Borders Sporting Goods US 60 in Cannonsburg for all your hunting and fishing needs, as well as those Liberty gun safes. You'll see Brad and the gang for all the specials. Listen, Christmas is not too far away, and they do have layaway available. So if you're looking for that big ticket item for somebody in your family, go see Brad and the gang. They can get you set up. They'll start running some holiday specials very soon. And, of course, they always have some amazing Black Friday deals that's going on as well. So keep those ideas in the back of your head if you're looking for the outdoorsman in your life for those holiday gift ideas coming up. Customer service, can I help you, please? Well, here's what happened. So I signed up for Windstream or Kinetic, whatever they are this week, their fiber internet service a couple of years ago, okay? It was the first in our neighborhood. They finally put the fiber into our neighborhood. I was the very first house that it was put into. So we put the cabling in, all the stuff, got it hooked up, had some issues to where the first 2 nights that we had it, at 11 o'clock each night, it got shut off because they put me in the system with the wrong address. Instead of putting it in as Worthington, Kentucky, they put it in as Russell, Kentucky. The system saw that there was no such address and would turn us off. And so we got everything fixed, worked great. $55 a month. Great. It was on a promotional, okay? Well, after the first year promotion, of course, it goes up. So it went up from 55 to 70. Well, then it went from 70 to 84. Now it's up to 105. Still paying the same speeds, or paying for the same speeds, but double the price. So I'm fed up with it. I'm tired of these promotionals to where they just turn it around to where they give you this, they get you, and then they double you. But yet they're giving Joe Blow over here the same stuff that you're getting or better for way cheaper because it's a promotional sale. So I've got all of my service through T-Mobile. T-Mobile has home internet. Home internet works well. I can get T-Mobile home internet for $50. No promotional. It's going to run. It's going to do everything I need to do at the house. I'm saving $50 a month. Not a problem. I called T-Mobile. We got my rep. Sent me the box. Everything's good. So I contact Kinetic. And you get to, when you go to disconnect your service, it takes you to the customer retention department, okay? So the guy answers, and he's all chipper and stuff, and how can I help you? I need to terminate my service. Well, can I ask why? Well, yeah, because I'm tired of paying double what I started with. Immediately, this guy snaps into a light switch and gets defensive. Well, you were on a promotional item, sir. I said, I know what I was on, but that doesn't give you the right to double my price. What's the first thing that he does this? Well, I can give you $20 off. Well, if you can give me $20 off for me calling in, and that's all we've done so far, just called in and said, I want to, why can't you give me $20 off all the time? So at this point, I'm even just, that right there is just, that nails in the coffin, okay? I shouldn't, it's like, I hate coupons. Why do I need a freaking piece of paper to save 15 cents? If you can sell it to me for 15 cents cheaper, why do I need to kill a tree to make a coupon that nobody's going to do anything with whatsoever? It has no monetary value. Why do I have to scan my app to get 10 cents off at the gas station? Why do I have to call in and threaten my service to be canceled to get $20 off a month? Oh, yeah, by the way, it was only going to be for a year, though. No, I don't. I want to cancel my service. Well, then this guy wants to start asking me questions. Well, sir, who are you going to? I said, personally, that's none of your business. And he goes, no, I believe it is my business because we need to know who we are losing our customers or who we're losing our customers to if you're canceling. I go, well, again, it's none of your business. And he said, well, sir, we have policies in place that we have to ask these questions. And I said, would you stop wasting my time? He goes, well, if you would have just answered the questions, we'd been halfway done with this. And I said, I answered your question. I told you it's none of your business. Well, sir, I can see that you're not going to answer my questions. Can you please hold? I said, just ask your questions. He goes, well, what, sir? Or he said, what speed did they guarantee you? I said, adequate. He goes, I can see you're going to answer none of my questions. I said, I answered your questions. I adequately answered your adequate question. Adequate speeds. That's all you need to know. So the guy puts me on hold, leaves me on hold for like 5 minutes, and then comes back in and says, okay, this is what you need to do, and if you don't do this, you're going to get charged. Is there anything else I can do for you? I said, nope, you've been adequately effective for your job. Have a good day. And hung up the phone. Here's the thing. I should not have to, one, threaten to cancel my service to get something. And two, when I determine that I am going to cancel, you don't need to turn into the biggest jerkwad in the world just because all of a sudden now I'm no longer a customer. Okay? It shows the lack of professionalism that your company offers and what they're giving to their customers. I've been a big component of this. I hate it whenever you get all of these freebies. All of this stuff is out there. And then that runs out, and then it doubles your price. And then you call them and say, why can't I be done something? That's just for new customers only. I've been a customer with you for 7 years. Does that not matter? No, sir, I'm sorry. I want to cancel. Oh, well, wait a minute, sir. We can offer you this now. Nope, sorry. Have a good day. You lost. I win. Adequate. Yeah, you're an adequate idiot is what you are. That's the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Big thanks to Mike Salmons from Raceland Football coming in this morning talking about program win number 600 as well as his 100th as the coach there in Ramland. They head down to Paris Friday night as they're going to match up with the Greyhounds for the de facto District 6 championship there in Class Single A. Over in Grayson tonight, KCU football welcomes in U-Pike. We'll have the call of the game tonight beginning at 6:40 on Countdown to Kickoff, 7 o'clock kickoff with the Bears and the Knights in AAC action. And next week, volleyball regular season wrapping up. We will not have any of the soccer games down in Flemingsburg. Just too difficult to get down there with all the timing, the driving, and everything. So, unfortunately, we will not have any region soccer down there. But we certainly wish our best luck to our two teams of East and West Carter as they start their ventures both on the girls' and boys' side. Guys, that's it for us. Have a great rest of your weekend. It's going to be nice and warm, getting cool and cold next week. So plan accordingly as we move deep into the month of October here in fall.